Did you stop getting Airbnb bookings?
Before you panic and drop your rates, there is a little known section in your Airbnb account that might hold the answer.
It's called listing issues. And if you have never checked it, now is the time. Stick around because we're going to show you exactly where to find it.
Hi, I'm Sarah Karakayan.
And I'm Annette Grant.
And together we are Thanks for Visiting.
We've been hosting for well over a decade, welcomed tens of thousands of guests, and earned thousands of 5-star reviews.
Our portfolio continues to bring in over 1.5 million year over year, and supported not only by the industry's leading brands, but also some of the biggest media outlets.
And we're here to help you with your furnished rental.
All right, so what are listing issues? Before we can get into what listing issues are, you do have to have your professional hosting tools turned on in your Airbnb account. And if you don't know how to do it, we made a video all about it, so go check that out after this video to make sure you have those tools turned on.
Airbnb is aggregating guest data constantly. Once a guest checks out, they're getting the email, the alert from Airbnb for a request for review. And those questions, there are several of them. They are asking in detail how the guest stay was. And those answers aren't just going into, the abyss. You better believe that now, especially with AI, there are so many data points that they are collecting specifically on your property. Okay, so even those private comments.
That's the key, Annette, is a private comment. So yes, guests are leaving reviews and things are public, and you're like, oh, well, if it's public, that might sting, but let's just
focus. That's between me and the guest. Well, it's between you, the guest. I am assuming, this is an assumption, I don't know exactly what the AI is doing, but that private feedback now is all being aggregated, and hence you will start to see these listing issues where, they're asking very detailed questions about your property. So let's say guests have made remarks about your Wi-Fi being slow, your beds being uncomfortable, maybe the photos were misleading, maybe the cleanliness was a little subpar, and you thought that was only in the private comments. That is all being aggregated. I hope you are all on the edge of your seat now wondering, wait, do I have any listing issues? Because we're going to share. Once we discovered this, we have had our fair share of listing issues, and we're going to tell you about them because some of them actually are comical. But first, we're going to show you where to find them.
Yes, so as long as your professional hosting tools are on, you're going to make sure that you are on the hosting side of Airbnb. You know how you can be on the travel side or hosting side. You have to be on the hosting side of your Airbnb profile. And in the top right corner, you'll see those 3 dashed lines. You want to click on that and go to Insights. Once Insights populates, on the left side of your screen, at the bottom, you'll see a Listings Issues area. Click on that, and in the center of your screen, it will share with you if you have any current listing issues.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do you have any? Let us know in the comments.
TFB pro tip here. If Airbnb is, aggregating these reviews, and they now have a section bringing it to our attention. Again, I can't see behind the scenes, but you better believe they're using it in the algorithm. And you cannot afford to ignore these listing issues. We now have it in our calendar as something to check on because you do kind of have to dig around for it. They're not going to email you and tell you. So you've got to look for it. And here's the deal. If someone has said something, again, going back to maybe slow Wi-Fi, pictures are misleading, uncomfortable beds, there are probably, most likely, 10 other guests that just didn't take the time to tell you. Because A, it's not their job to tell you. B, in the just general world of customer service, there are people that will never ever say anything, even though they've thought it, even though they're going to tell other people, even though they will never book again, but they will not tell you. So when you see those comments, do not think it's a one-off because A, only one person could leave the review. So if it was slow Wi-Fi and you sleep 4 or you sleep 8 or you sleep 10, they all encountered that issue. So I really want you to take it to heart. If there is a listing issue and you think, oh, flippantly, it's only one person, it is not one person.
So why you should care, other than your guests not getting a great experience with these certain issues that are being highlighted in your listing issues section, is because Airbnb wants properties on their platform that offer consistent, great experiences. And if guests are leaving either public feedback or, again, like we said, private comments, or reaching out to Airbnb directly, I mean, there's anything that is said on the platform on Airbnb is up for Airbnb to use to understand your property better. And if they're understanding there are issues that are not being either fixed, or had one guest have such a terrible experience that they are willing to give you a listing issue, then that means they are absolutely going to use that information to figure out where you stand on the Airbnb algorithm. So if all of a sudden you have felt like you're not getting bookings via Airbnb, it could be because you've got a listing issue and they need you to fix it, and they're gonna like drop you a little bit lower to see, hey, if a guest finds your property, great. Hopefully the experience they have is better than the last one, but we certainly don't want to serve you up to the masses because we don't want other guests to have not a great experience on the Airbnb platform, right? Like, these are products for Airbnb, and if that product isn't performing well, if guests are saying it's not up to snuff, then Airbnb is not going to reward that property by putting it higher up in the algorithm. They're just not. Airbnb may or may not send you an email about your property having a listing issue, which is why Annette mentioned earlier, we have it. Every week I go in, I have a recurring task to go and respond to all of our reviews. And that is where I'm starting to see. Obviously, I also make sure that during the guest day, I am noticing any constructive feedback from the guest and addressing it head on. But when I go to the reviews every week and I'm responding to all the reviews, remember that's a TFE pro tip, that even if it's a 5-star review, a 4, it doesn't matter how many stars you get, you should always respond. And it's not responding to that guest, it's responding to that future shopper who are reviewing your reviews. When I'm doing that, I'm also hopping over to my listing issues section to see not only if I've got any new listing issues, but to see is there any other commentary or feedback from Airbnb about current listing issues. What to do if you have a listing issue. If the listing issue is about a poor check-in experience, uncomfy beds, slow Wi-Fi, whatever it is, think about how, remove your ego, think about how you can improve it.
I heard this quote last night. I'm going to start using it. I haven't even had a chance to tell you yet. Don't dwell on it, deal with it.
Ooh.
So we're not going to dwell on it, we're going to deal with it.
Don't go in that free Facebook group and start complaining to all your hosty friends that I can't believe because that's not going to help you.
Yep, so we're not going to, don't dwell on the listing issue, deal with the listing issue.
For example, let's say the listing issue is that you have an uncomfortable bed. So what you're going to do is you are going to figure out what kind of mattress is actually the most universally pleasing mattress. If you want to know more about that, you can check out our essentials checklist in our show notes below, because we have some mattresses we love. You're going to get a new mattress, and you're going to say in your listing description what kind of mattress you have, the date that you got a brand new mattress, and how it is, the most comfortable mattress the guests have ever experienced. And then what you're going to do, and here is a TFE pro tip for you, you're going to reach out to Airbnb support, and you're going to say, hi, I realize that I have a listing issue on this property. It is about the bed being uncomfortable. I wanted to let you know I got a new mattress. It is a blank mattress purchased on this date. You might even send a picture of the receipt and of maybe you putting the sheets on the new mattress and say, I just wanted to let Airbnb know that I've taken action. I take it very seriously. Is there anything else I need to know about this listing issue? And has this affected my listing negatively? Ask them. Why? If you have a PMS, some PMSs, property management software, thank you, are letting you know, they outline the listing issues on the PMS side, and they'll let you know if this is just an educational opportunity for you, or if Airbnb has put your listing in warning status. Or even further, if you are on, you get 3 demerits with Airbnb on the higher listing issue status level. I don't know what they call it internally, but on my property management software, it's red. And so if you were to get 3 red demerits, obviously they're going to remove your listing from the platform. So there's educate level, that is green, that is like, hey, we're just letting you know that our algorithm or our AI has picked up this is a listing issue. Orange, warning status, hey, this is a big deal and you gotta get this fixed. Or red status.
And again, you cannot see that in the professional host dashboard.
But
That's
you
in a
can
PMS.
ask.
Yeah,
But you can ask Airbnb support.
And if it's slow Wi-Fi, call your provider or call new providers, improve the Wi-Fi, do a screen capture of the improved Wi-Fi speed, send that in, let them know. Again, put it in your listing, but new and improved Wi-Fi. Say noise complaints, get a noise monitor, and please do that ahead of time. And if it's misleading photos, which we still can't believe how many people don't have professional photos, please do that. So again, don't dwell on it, deal with it, and we're gonna get into some more, we're gonna tell you a specific one of our stories just to show you how and how these listing issues might not truly be a listing issue, but we still dealt with it in a way to help get it removed.
We've got 2 stories for you. The first story is where we have proof that it's not just about what's said in your reviews. It is what's said in conversations.
Private comments.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had a guest who booked a stay with us, and it says in our listing description that we are pet friendly on a case-by-case basis. So this guest booked with us, and they reached out that they are bringing, I think it was like 5 or 6 kittens, and we were like, oh, we don't allow cats in our property. And to all the cat lovers out there, I mean no disrespect, we just don't allow them in our properties.
Let alone 5 kittens.
Let alone 5 kittens in our short-term rental. And we let the guests know. We said, hi. They said, hey, we're bringing 5 kittens. We just want to make sure that's okay. And we responded with, as it's listed in our house rules and our listing description, we are pet-friendly on a case-by-case basis, and we don't allow cats in our property, let alone 5 kittens. So we're not going to be a good fit for you. We recommend you finding a property that would be a better fit for you. So if you want to cancel, we will offer you a refund in full. We are being really kind. And that way you can find a property that's a better fit for you. Well, this guest did cancel, and we did give them a full refund, but they also apparently let Airbnb know. Either they let Airbnb know that we forced them to cancel, or Airbnb was scanning our conversations, and because they saw the word cancellation, even though we were saying, hey,
like a
guest,
recommended cancellation from us.
Yes. Even though we were saying, if you cancel, guest, we will give you a full refund. Either the AI picked up that word cancellation or the guest told Airbnb directly. But our listing issue warning was that we encouraged a guest to cancel.
It was the kittens.
So I reached out to Airbnb support and I asked it, I said, hey, I see I have a listing issue. And it was about this conversation with guests. I gave them the reservation ID code so they can go and look at it themselves. And I said, we clearly have it listed in our listing description that we are pet friendly on a case-by-case basis, and that we don't allow cats. We're dog only. They shared with us they're bringing 5 kittens, and we're simply sharing with them that we weren't a good fit. So while we told them they could cancel in exchange for a full refund, I just want to ask you, Airbnb, how should I have handled this differently so that it wouldn't be marked as a listing issue on my account? And the Airbnb support rep came back and said, hey, we understand there was nothing I would have done differently if I were you. And I want to let you know that there aren't any warnings on your listing.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly.
It was just, we want to let you know that you shouldn't ask a guest to cancel.
Yeah.
And so I told my team, let's no longer use that word cancel, especially with AI
Hot tip there.
scanning the conversations. Let's just say, we unfortunately cannot accept 5 kittens at our property. If you'd like to find another property that is more aligned with your stay requirements, we'd be happy to issue a refund in full should you find another place. Don't use the word cancellation. And you know what? I told my team also, why don't you reach out to Airbnb support and have them help you mediate that conversation, especially if it's right. So there's that tip there of like, this guest never left us a review.
They never even stayed.
They never even stayed. And they did cancel in full, and we did give them a full refund, and we still got a listing issue remark on our account.
That is where we want you to be open, even if you think you're like the best of the best, that you could have a listing issue could be flagged for a stay that never even happened.
And I didn't get sassy with Airbnb as I wish I could have, right? I stayed very calm, and I asked Airbnb what should I have done differently, because I'm playing in their playground. I'm playing by their rules. And if I want to use their giant platform to get me leads and guests, that's the game I have to play. Second example, this one stings, is a guest left us a 2-star review on the section about the check-in experience. Overall, she gave us 4 stars, which we don't get 4 stars often, so it still hurt me. But she left 2 stars on the check-in experience because we have our guests at this property check in via the back door.
Because the parking's
right there.
It's right there.
It's easier for her.
And it's safer. And they have their own spot.
I know.
But it's okay. But it's about them. It's about them.
about them.
It's about them. See? Don't dwell on it. Deal with it.
Don't dwell on it, deal with it. Which I did. I poured over, and then I asked 2 other people, like, do you think this is clear? Like, how can I get any more clear? And it's okay, because I actually reached out to that guest too. She never responded back to me, but I said, hey, I saw your 2-star review about your check-in experience. I never want a guest to be as frustrated as you were. I regret you didn't let me know, but you're on your trip, you're spending time how you want to spend your time. If you had a few moments to let me know how I could be more clear, I would appreciate it. She never responded, but she could have.
She has the right not to, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't have to. But here's why I'm telling you this. Obviously, I have a listing issue for that property about the check-in experience. I asked Airbnb, I said, hey, I made improvements. I wanted to let Airbnb know I made improvements to the check-in experience and to like my description of how the check-in. And I asked Airbnb, is this just like a, hey, giving me a warning, or do I have any sort of demerits on my listing? And Airbnb support told me there's no demerits on your listing. It was just letting you know that we're calling it out. I said, okay, great. I made those improvements. But here's the weird thing, and this is what we don't know, is it's been about 3 months since both of these listing issues populated. The cat issue is now gone from my listing issue section.
Right.
But the check-in experience demerit, or not demerit, because
the
warning,
issue
the issue itself is not gone.
Right, so it's a little unclear of like when, how, what this process is for them falling off,
right.
If ever.
Like, was I cleared of the listing issue, even though it wasn't a demerit on my account about the cats, because I did everything I could? I don't know, but I just wanted to let you know, like, if you see things like stay or disappear, that it's, and I've searched everywhere, and there's nothing from Airbnb saying why that is, but regardless, just know it's not just your reviews, it's not just the public stuff, it's the private comments when guests leave a review, it's the conversations you're having with the guests. So just be careful the words you use. Mm-hmm. And you know what the biggest lesson about all this is diversify where your bookings are coming from. Mm-hmm. If all your bookings are coming from Airbnb,
that's the biggest listing issue you have.
That is the biggest listing issue you have, because what happens if something is out of your control and a guest says, I don't care, I didn't like it, and you get unlisted.
Delisted, right.
And then your business like that is gone. Mm-hmm. And we see hosts do this all the time where they're like, well, I don't get as many bookings from Vrbo. Listen, stop having one channel be the thing that brings you all your business. Get diversified, or...
Yeah, that is the biggest listing issue you need to deal with today.
Airbnb is very intentional with every feature, with every section of their platform, with anything they do. They don't have anything that's a throwaway, right? Very, very intentional. So the fact that this is a new area of your Airbnb host account, do not ignore it. Get involved in it. Take action. Don't dwell. Do something about it.
Deal with it.
Deal with it.
Don't dwell on it. Deal with it.
Don't dwell on it. I like it.
So let us know in the comments, did you go to the section in your host account? Did you see any listing issues? We want to know.
And if you need any help with responding to guest reviews, especially the ones that are constructive criticism, because remember,
AKA negative.
Yes, we are not responding to the person who left the review. We are showing up as awesome host to the person who is scouting us, who is considering staying with us. And so we want to make sure that those reviews, the response to those reviews are left in a certain way. Learn all about that by watching that video. And with that, I am Sarah Caracan.
I'm Annette Grant, and together we are...
Thanks for visiting.